Hi everyone, welcome to tonight's Facebook Live. My name is Julie Ann Fay, and this is my Cards for the Collective Facebook Live series. Let's give it a minute or two for some people to get on. And I'm just going to stick this little guy here. So I'm going to set up a sacred container. I'm going to use my triple pointed amethyst. I want to clear any and all negative energy from this space, and I want to shield with white light, and I want to call on Archangel Michael, Archangel Ariel, Archangel Metatron, Babaji, the Essene Masters Babaji, Isis, Hilarion, Kuan Yin, Buddha, and Krishna. And I want to call in my guardian angels, my guides. I want to call on all of the guardian angels and guides of people watching this live or on replay. I also want to call on spirit animals, totem animals, power animals of God's white light. And I will also call in ancestors of God's white light that are present in this space to assist. So if you're here catching me live, please leave a comment so that I can know that you're here. I love seeing people's comments in the chat. And if you're here watching this and you can share this video, that's even better, because then more people can get access to all of this goodness, this card goodness that I'm about to get into. So I've got 3 decks tonight. I have Radley Valentine's Angel Answers, not the new version, although I really, really want the new version. So if somebody wants to buy that for me as a present, I'll be very happy. I've got a new deck that I'm working with called Heal Yourself Reading Cards. Really loving this deck. And I thought I had a 3rd deck. I don't have it here, so let me grab that and I'll be right back. Okay. Hi Candice Lynn, good to see you. Good to see you. So I'm deciding if I'm still doing like the one-to-one readings, but either way you'll get benefit, because I'm either going to go over sign by signs for the week, or what was the other way I did it recently? I also did pick a cards recently and I really enjoyed that, so I might be doing that again. But I want to do that to make sure that everybody has access to a reading, and then kind of depending where we're at, I may do a couple people for personal cards. So what was I saying? Yeah, so I've grabbed 2 more decks here. And I just want to go over some business updates briefly. And I've also got something special that I'm going to do tonight as well that I prepped over the weekend. So I'm excited to do that. If this thing wants to straight, yeah, it's good. So, business updates. So I am working on a lot of things behind the scenes. So really the best way to be following for business updates is to be following me on my social channels. So that would be Instagram at Julianne Fay, my Facebook business page, which if you're watching this on Facebook, you're already on it, but it's facebook.com/Julianne Fay 888. Subscribe, follow my videos on YouTube. All of this is linked in the description of this video. And I have been doing more blog posts for my business, which you can see on my website, as well as email newsletters are going out every 2 weeks at around the new and the full moons, and I give you all the updates, the links to videos, blog posts, everything that's current. There's reading specials in those email newsletters, tons of information. So the email newsletter is probably one of the most important ways to stay up to date with everything, because I compile it all in the newsletter, and it's like extra juicy and magical, and there's special things for my newsletter subscribers. So I would definitely recommend subscribing. The link to that is in the description of this video as well. And what else do I want to say? Yeah, there's a lot of things coming. A lot of things being worked on behind the scenes and a lot of things coming. So right now, I would just encourage people to be following me, subscribe to the newsletter. I will be soon taking orders for year ahead readings, but not quite there just yet. But if you're wanting a year ahead reading, a card reading for 2020, definitely email me at juliannefay@gmail.com so you can reserve a spot and get kind of earlier on in the list, because they tend to become, a lot of people want those, and then it can take a little longer to get. It will have a longer turnaround regardless, but if you are interested in getting one of those readings, you can definitely sign up sooner than later. And all of that is in the email newsletter as well. And we're coming up on a new month here, December, so I always like to advert my customized moon reports. That's when I go into your natal chart and I give you advice based on the new and full moon of that month. And I strongly, strongly would recommend this for December or January, because we have eclipses coming, and eclipses bring change that births itself for the next 6 months ahead. So if there's a time that you would get a customized moon report, I would highly recommend getting one in December or January from me, because I can look at what's happening in your chart and how those energies are affecting your chart, you know. So, let's see. Pretty sure that's everything. I also want to do a shout out to ephemeris.co. So this is a company that I've partnered with recently. I'm so in love with what they're doing and their CEO, and have been in communication with them, so there'll be more coming between us as a collab. But she actually makes custom natal chart necklaces, custom birth chart necklaces. So this is actually my birth chart on a necklace. You could see it. It's so gorgeous. And they come in different colors. So this one has a black background, but you can also get it with a gray or like a silvery background. She also has posters. She also will have bracelets coming soon. There is a link in the description of this video, whether you're watching this on Facebook or on YouTube, or you can go and get 10% off. So click that link. That supports my spiritual business, and you also get a discount. So it's a win for everybody. I cannot recommend her highly enough. There will be a lot more coming with her company in the future, but I'm wearing my necklace like almost every other day, and I'm so in love with it. When I saw this, I was just like, oh, this is like the most amazing thing in the entire world, because I'm a professional astrologer and a certified angel card reader, and there's nothing that I love more than astrology and all of the science and the juiciness of it, the sacred science of it all. So having it with jewelry, which is something I already love, is like a double, triple, quadruple, quintuple win. I just like can't get over how much I love all of that together. So without further ado, I think I'm going to do a pick a card style tonight, and if we do get more people on, maybe I'll pull some select people to have a card pull. But I'm feeling a pick a card tonight, so I'm going to set those up. So let's see, what do people need to know for pile number 1? And we're just going to make this the focus for this week. However, if you're watching this on my YouTube, this is timeless, so you can totally go back and rewatch this at a different time and still have meaning. Or if you're watching on my Facebook business page, either way. So what do people need to know for pile number 1? Okay, what do people need to know for pile number 2? Was there a second message here for pile number 1? No, I'll just keep it at that. Okay. Pile number 2, what does pile number 2 need to know? We also have a new moon in Sagittarius tomorrow, actually. And I did a whole video on that, doing an astrology walkthrough, a screen share of the astrology chart for that last week. That's now on my YouTube, so you can go and watch that there, or you can find it on my Facebook business page, but everything's organized a lot better on my YouTube. So let's see, pile number 2. What do people need to know for pile number 2? And what do people need to know for pile number 3? Perfect. All right, let's go in with these cards now. What do people need to know for pile number 1? What do people know for what do people need to know for pile number 2? What do people need to know for pile number 3? Let's go here. I'm feeling actually called to do 2 cards for this deck. So let's do that. Pile number 1, what do people need to know? What do people need to know for pile number 2? What do people need to know for pile number 3? All right, let's go in with 2 more decks and then we'll be good. What do people need to know for pile number 1? What do people need to know for pile number 2? What do people need to know for pile number 3? People need to know for pile number 3. Okay. Ooh, my whole deck just fell apart on me. All right, what do people need to know for pile number 1? What do people need to know for pile number 2? And what do people need to know for pile number 3? Whew, all those Archangel Tarot cards came out really good. Okay, so if you're watching this, and we've also got, I think this is going to be an overall card message, so we'll do that for everybody. If you're watching this on replay, which most of you will be, because we really don't have many people live right now, I want you to pick a number between 1 and 3, so 1, 2, or 3. And if you're watching this on replay, or if you're watching this on my YouTube, definitely leave a comment. Let me know what number you picked and how it resonated for you. But I'm going to go ahead and so you can feel free to pause this video. I'll show you guys also the piles. So this is pile number 1. They're all going to look the same, but if you want to feel into the energy of it. So this is pile number 1. Pile number 1. Okay, and pile number 2. This is the energy of pile number 2. And this is the energy of pile number 3. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to pick a pile myself. Okay. And then we've also got this overall card message, so I'm going to speak to that at the end. Or maybe I'll speak to it at each pile. We'll see kind of how it works. All right, so for pile number 1, these are the cards that we have for you if you pick this pile. So we have, from Angel Answers, Perfect Timing. Let's see if we could get that to, that is not, there we go, kind of. Let's reduce my lighting a little bit here. Okay, so we've got Perfect Timing. It just does not want to come up so clear. You can kind of see it like that. I don't know why. This is like refusing to focus. So we've got Perfect Timing. We have, this is from the Heal Yourself cards. These cards are a little bit raw and vulnerable, so just heads up. But we have Hole in the Soul. I'm going to explain about these cards too. And then we have Alchemy. Hole in the Soul and then Alchemy. We also have Love from that deck. And then we have Organic Foods. Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for supporting my desire to consume and use organic products. This is all pile number 1. And then we have 6 of Ariel. Material needs get fulfilled in magical and unexpected ways. Acts of kindness, giving or receiving with a grateful heart. But I'm actually really drawn to, in this card, you could see here that she's there and then she's got 2 buckets with apples. So she's trying to balance between like 2 opposing forces But overall, this has like energy of light coming in and kind of like a strength and a rootedness because we have the energy of the tree. This could also be about ancestors supporting you to rebalance your life. That's what I'm getting with this strongly. This could also be related to material needs being met because 6 is material needs, physical things, money in numerology. The organic foods I'm getting for you to watch, make sure that you, while you're trying to go through this whole process of rebalancing your life and doing more rebalancing with things, that you are making sure that you take time for self-care. So are you eating regularly? Are you sleeping enough? Are you drinking enough water? You know, these are things that sometimes when you look at your to-do list, you're like, oh, well, that's going to have to go to the bottom of it. And it's like, no, it should actually be at the top. You should lead with that first, because when you show up more whole and complete, then everything else will show up more whole and complete because you put yourself first. So powerful messages there. What I'm getting from the Heal Yourself cards is that, you know, for some people watching this reading, this could definitely be some type of change in your love life, you know, because we do have the love card here. But it could also very much be a change in the love relationship you have with yourself. And also, you know, with this balancing card, this could be like balancing different needs that you have within yourself, or this could be, if this is something you're relating to for a relationship, this could be balancing your needs within a relationship or between two people or like two opposing forces. And there's definitely a need here for opening up the heart chakra, doing more of what you love, or being in more love with who you love, right? Because we have that love card there. And then we have this hole in the soul card, which is saying that, you know, you have these wounds and these vulnerabilities. You're also very aware of them. It's almost like the Grim Reaper is like right behind you and he's like, this is your shadow. These are the things that need fixing and healing. It's like you can't ignore it. It's like right up front and center. It's in your face. These challenges and these issues that need healing, like they are literally on top of you, and it's making you feel like, you know, like it's making you feel like you're incomplete and that you're like literally being torn in different directions and have different pieces of you that are like punctured and not fully whole. But along with this, we have the card of alchemy. So I feel that you could see here that she's very strong and powerful, and she's holding in her hand, you know, this jar. It's a jar, and then out of the jar, she's actually holding this like orb of light. It actually looks like a cute little, kind of like a flying saucer when you could see the card in person. It's just really showing up as just like a bright orb there. These cards show up really good on camera. So, you know, I feel like no matter what you're going through, and this is also the sacral chakra orange color here, so, and purple. So this is sacral chakra, which is connecting with creativity, as well as that transformative energy, that's Scorpio energy. And then we also have purple, which is the crown chakra, which is connecting to your guides, right? The higher self, the higher knowledge. And then we also have a lot of yellow here, which is the inner child, which is playfulness, which is balancing different needs, like between work and play. So I feel like this card is actually part of the solution to the energy of this pile, which is that, you know, you are trying to I was thinking of two different words at the same time. You are trying to balance very opposing forces right now, and it is making you feel stressed out, and sometimes like you don't have time for self-care. But your guides are saying you have to make time for self-care, and it's okay for you to be present to the fact that these shadow things are up front and center with you, because the way out of it is self-love, putting more love into this equation, putting more love for yourself and the other people involved, and also alchemy. So getting creative about the solutions with it, you know, transforming that pain into something beautiful. I just was doing a bunch of updates to my LinkedIn, where I have like a whole other side of myself, which is my freelancing side of myself and my writing side and my digital marketing side. And I was, you know, doing some updates to the description for this blog series that I do called Women in Tech. And that blog series has about 9 interviews so far. I've interviewed 9 different women, and there's lots more coming, where essentially I communicate with different women and I help them with sharing their story of how they got to where they are, and just picking their brain about different advice they have, different technologies. This really beautiful blog series. That blog series came out as a result of feeling like this about various situations in which I noticed not necessarily I mean, in a sense, yes, gender discrimination, but also just women not being fairly represented and not having their voices be seen or heard. And I had a lot of pain from that because one of my important themes this lifetime is being seen and heard and using my voice to be seen and heard. So it was very painful for me. But what I did was I went in and I alchemized it. And I said, okay, obviously this is important to me because I have this emotional reaction to it that's really big, right? So what can I do to like transform my feelings, transform my pain about this? Well, I can communicate. I can use my voice to tell other women's stories. So that's how it came about. And the blog series has been very successful and it's actually now becoming, important part of my portfolio and my presence like as a freelancer. So, that's like a good example of alchemy and how we can make things work in a very positive, like alchemical way. And I will share the link to that, if you're interested. If it doesn't call to you, don't feel free to not bother. But I'll be happy to share the link to that somewhere in the comments or in the description for those interested to take a look at that. So that's what we have for pile number 1. And I feel that this perfect timing card, which does not want to show up clearly on camera, it's kind of funny actually, it doesn't. It's almost like the light of it is so bright, it's like it can't even focus, I feel like this is the perfect time for you to do this alchemy. It's now time. Like you've spent a fair amount of time in this energy, being present to and aware of the emotional pain. Now it's time to alchemize it. So that's what I feel the perfect timing is about. And then this was the overall message card I got, which I feel applies to everyone. And this is 10 of Michael. So this says, a situation has ended and you are finally free. New opportunities for happiness will now follow. Put the past behind you. So this is resonating with that perfect timing card. It's like, we're done with that chapter now. We're done with that phase. You're ending that cycle. You're starting this new cycle now with fresh self-love, alchemy, all of these really positive, transformative things. Doesn't mean it's not going to be work. It just means that you're saying, okay, I'm done with staying in that energy and now I'm ready for new, whether that's a relationship ending or up-leveling yourself in like your housing or your career or like your habits, something, And astrologically, we're moving into a big change, which is Jupiter changing signs into Capricorn. So astrologically, we have a new cycle starting as well, which is significant because Jupiter is in a specific sign for like 12 to 13 months. So it's a whole new cycle. Pile 2 people. We have for you, we got some sexy cards here for pile 2. So we have sexy cards and then also some other painful things. So we have, for pile 2 people, if you pick pile 2, this is romance. These cards do not want to show up on camera like at all, which is cray. Maybe I'm eating my words about wanting a revised deck of this because I see how it's not really showing up on camera and that's not cool. But we have the romance card. We have rejection. We have sexual arts. You guys can see that. Sort of. There you go. Sexual arts. We have recovery. Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for holding my hand throughout my recovery upon the path of radiant health. And we have King of Ariel. Your plans are working out very well. Professional financial success using resources wisely. Love this one. So this one's almost like the King of Pentacles in the tarot. So we have definitely some vibes here about, I'm drawn to these 3 cards in particular, and then we're going to talk about these 2 in a second, but we have the romance card, the rejection card, and the recovery card. So some of you that pick pile number 2, you're definitely going through a breakup, or you're going through something in which you were pursuing something, maybe a type of career relationship or a project or something personal, and you're probably attaching to it, putting a lot of energy into it, and you just were not being met in return with the love, the attention, and the energy that you deserve from it. So you probably felt in cycles rejected from that, but the truth is that you're actually in a phase of recovery from that because it wasn't healthy for you, it wasn't good for you. So this recovery, I'm taking to mean that you're moving away from that energy. Either this is like way old news, or this is new news, but in either way, you're in a recovery period. You could see that the angel with the unicorn there, they're moving forward fearlessly. So it's like you're leaving that energy behind. You're leaving this energy behind of rejection and abandonment in relationships and with people, and you're done with that, you know? So similar themes a bit to pile 1 with like really acknowledging the end of this cycle. And then we have sexual arts. So this is definitely affirming that maybe there was a lot of physical chemistry in that relationship that you left, or perhaps this could be you creating union between your divine masculine energy and your divine feminine energy. This could also be about bringing in creative energy, sacral chakra energy, so alchemy, but using your power in a positive way really is the message here. A lot of these themes are totally related to pile 1, and if you're watching this whole thing, you can totally view these cards as a continuation of the messages in pile 1. And then we have King of Ariel, so this is affirming that whatever it is you're working on, whatever it is you're building right now is going to be a success. You are supported in this, and you're planting good seeds with this, and they're going to blossom, they're going to flourish. So this is a very affirmative card that this new direction you're moving in is really positive and productive for you. So I take these cards to be acknowledgement of your past and what you came from, and I take these cards to be I kind of use recovery twice, but it's sort of like the bridge between the two in a way, right? So these cards to be kind of what you're moving into, which is more divine union within yourself, within the masculine and feminine parts of yourself, more divine union with a more sacred partner, a more balanced partner, a more positive partner for you, and as well as more abundance, more success from these decisions that you're making to leave behind those toxic connections, relationships, whatever they might be, career, job, romance, what have you. And then for pile number 2, I'm going to do a shout out again. So this was 10 of Michael. This was a jumping card, which I feel is relevant for each pile. So this is about the end of a cycle, taking a bow. This chapter's ended and now you're moving into a new cycle. So this is just affirming that we're switching cycles here, which astrologically is happening because Jupiter's moving into Capricorn soon. So then for pile number 3, if you picked pile 3, we have from Angel Answers, not the right time. Yeah, these cards just don't like to show up on camera, which kind of sucks. If it was a different facing down, it might have worked a little better, but we'll see. So we have not the right time. We have sadness. This is all for pile 3 people. We have wild. And we have massage. Dear Archangel Raphael, please help me know that I deserve to receive massages and other self-care treatments. You guys, we have totally similar messages resonating between the different piles. It's crazy. Then we have Ace of Ariel. So this is about a change in job, promotion, good abundance, money, specifically like a new sense of luck or opportunity coming in, which is great. So this could be almost, you could consider this like the, it could for some people be like the Ace of Cups, but it's really more like a pentacle energy. So this is initiating energy with the pentacles. So what I'm getting for this pile is that similar messages to the previous 2 piles. It's crazy. And again, they could all be a continuation of each other. But what I'm getting for this pile is that I think that in the past you were trying to pursue things and you were being met with a lot of sadness because there was something about it that wasn't quite right. It wasn't clicking into place quite right. And it was either a timing issue or maybe not the right places, not the right... I'm hearing spaces and places, so it's like it wasn't the right place for you to be putting your energy into, but you couldn't see it at that time. So you were feeling a lot of sadness about that. And look how even my Himalayan salt lamp, it's like there's this fire within you, but you couldn't understand that, you couldn't see that. And part of it was that it wasn't the right time. There was maybe experiences you had to go through, lessons you had to learn. Maybe you had to do some of that shadow work. I'm drawn to even like that card from pile 1 about being present to what your shadows are or your wounds and working with them. So you might have been doing a lot of shadow work or a lot of soul work, and maybe that's why it wasn't the right time to move forward with this thing. You had to almost like process some of that sadness. But now it is moving into this energy of it's safe for you to express yourself. So this is like root chakra energy. This is moving energy, right? You could see that it's like really moving forward. So this is just really affirming that it's safe for you to be authentically who you are in all ways. and to not feel like you have to hide any part of yourself that feels like it's not safe, to be like wild and free. And definitely with this new moon in Sagittarius, it's all about freedom. Sagittarius is all about freedom and being a visionary. So this is the time for you to be that, to embrace that, you know, and this might be something around finances, or this could be with a relationship. And I think that, again, it's like crazy because we keep having these repeat messages. We have this message here of massage. So this is just informing the need for self-care. This could also be body work, you know. So taking time out of your day to get some body work done, acupuncture, massage, cupping. There's so many different ways you can get body work done. Even just a foot reflexology massage can be really helpful. And because you definitely have some new things coming into play, some abundant things that are coming into play. So you're going to need to make sure that you're balancing the needs for those new things with prioritizing for self-care. So I love that, and I want to do a shout out to the card, the jumping card, which was the 10 of Michael card, which was affirming that you're ending one cycle and starting a new one. It's like you were on this one stage for this year. You know, we're coming to the end of the year. We're also coming to a big shift in the astrology transits with Jupiter. So you're in this one stage, you're in this one phase. Now you're taking a bow and you're moving into this new phase. And sometimes when we move into a new phase, when we up level, there can be pain from that because it's scary, you know, it's like trusting in the unknown. There's a lot of uncertainty, and it's just like, it's, you know, it's like jumping off a diving board and into the pool. That space in between when you're off the diving board but before you're in the pool is very unsettling, you know. I know one time when I was younger, I went to this water park, and there was like this really tall cliff where it was like within the water park, but you could jump off the cliff into this like pool of water that they had built. And I was with my cousin, and it was really funny because she was like, okay, we're going to get ready. And I was just like, I'm just going to do it. So she turned around, and I was already jumping. I guess that's my Jupiter in Aries. I'm just like, I'm just going to go. And, yeah, it was very interesting because I had the sensation of feeling like I was falling through the air for a while. And then when I got into the water, I went really deep into the water, like so much deeper than I thought I was going to go. And it took me longer than I thought to get back up to the surface, you know. So I think like the reason why I'm sharing that story is because each phase of that journey has a different lesson, you know. The first lesson is sometimes you have to just jump and you have to just leap and not overthink it. You just have to do it, you know. And Aries energy is really good at that. So is Sag energy, you know. The fire signs are really good at that. So there's that piece of it, which is sometimes you do have to leap and just kind of trust that it's all going to work out. There's the other phase, which is that when you're in that limbo phase, when you're in the air between phase, like the first phase and where you're going, it can be a little unsettling because you don't know where you're going to land, but that phase doesn't last forever. And then the final part, which is, or I guess maybe there's two more parts, which is like, okay, now you've gotten into it, now you're in really deep, and you have to kind of figure out how to get it into balance, how to get it to like almost like more of a place of neutral. And then after that, you come up to the surface, and now you can like process what you learned and think about, do I want to do this again? Do I want to do something differently? You can like make assessments, you know? So I'm excited for the new cycles coming, you know, and I've been talking about this in my astrology walkthroughs. I've been talking about this in my email newsletter. We need this grounded energy from Jupiter moving into Capricorn, and, you know, the change is needed. So for the fire signs and air signs, Jupiter being in a fire sign has been expanding them if you're a fire or air sign. But the earth and water signs, it's our time now, you know, to get some of that trining mojo in the astrology. So I am really excited. I'm like a really strong Virgo, and I have a lot of earth and air in my chart, but more earth really, and some fire. I have a lot of things. Very little water though. But I have a lot of earth energy, so I have a stellium of planets in Virgo, so I'm really excited for this Jupiter in Capricorn. And I think that probably the fire signs, even if they don't want to admit it, they probably need to like slow it a little bit down too and kind of get more grounded, you know. So I think that it's needed for everybody, but I think that for different people, depending upon your astro, it's going to mean different things. And hopefully this pick a card was of service to you all. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, a comment. If you're on my YouTube, please subscribe. Share this video with someone that you think would benefit from watching it. And sending you all so much love and light. And there should be links already to that 10% off for the natal chart necklaces that I talked about at the beginning in the description of this video. And for anyone interested, I'll also share the link to my Women in Tech blog series for anybody that wants to read that. Sending you all so much love and light. Have a good day / night wherever you are, whenever you're watching this. Bye.